Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today we're looking at recoloring patterns in Illustrator 2021. This is also appropriate to earlier versions of Illustrator. I'm going to start with a brand new document, so I'll just click Create New. I'm going to create one that is 1920 by 1080, which is just the size of my screen. I'm going to add a rectangle to this document, the exact same size as the document, and I'm going to square it up using the Align options. Your document can be whatever size you like, it's just fine. It's not going to be critical to what we're doing. I'm targeting the fill, I've already removed the stroke, and I'm going to the swatches panel and I want to use a pattern that is distributed with Illustrator because it's going to be easy for me to show you what's going on using this pattern. I'm going to the swatch libraries here, I'll go down to patterns, I'll go to nature and nature foliage. The pattern I'm looking for is this colored pansies pattern. Now, it's not a particularly attractive pattern at all, but it has some colors in it that's going to be handy to use. With my rectangle selected, I'm choosing Object, Transform, and then Scale. I'm going to scale this up to 800% so we can actually see what we're looking at. I have Preview turned on and I have Transform Objects disabled. That's really important because we're just transforming the pattern, not the rectangle that the pattern is in. I'll just click here on OK. So we have a brand new document, we have a rectangle and it's filled with a pattern. Let's see how we're going to recolor it. And the simplest way is to simply select this rectangle that is filled with the pattern and go up here to the Recolor Artwork icon. When you click that, you'll get a panel. You can also get to that exact same panel by choosing Edit and then Edit Colors and Recolor Artwork. This is the new Recolor Artwork dialog in Illustrator 2021. If you're working with an earlier version of Illustrator, and even if you're working with Illustrator 2021, I suggest you click here on Advanced Options because this is a more powerful area of the dialog. You may or may not see a panel here and you can hide and disclose it using this little triangle. We don't need it right now. The reason why I wanted to use this slightly more advanced area of the Recolor Artwork panel is down the very bottom. Down the very bottom of this panel, because I chose a pattern that has black and white in it, you'll see that black and white aren't treated the same as the other colors, and that is because they're being protected. They won't be able to be easily recolored unless we do something about it. This is typical behavior in Illustrator. Illustrator will protect black and white for the very reason that black and white are often used for line work or something in a document where you actually don't want to change that color but you do want to change everything else. In our case, if we want to change black and white, this is what we're going to do. We'll click once here and say yes, we do want to add a new color, and we'll make sure that this is an arrow and not a dash. This means that this can now be recolored. I'm going to do the same for white. So now all the colors in our artwork are able to be altered. We can quite simply select a color or identify a color and change it. For example, this green is pretty torturous. So I'm going to click on this to target it, double click to open the color picker, and I can choose an alternate color. Well, that's not much better than the green. But an easier way and perhaps a more fun way of recoloring your artwork is to go to the Edit option. Here you can identify individual colors in the artwork and change them, but you want to make sure first of all that this option is not enabled. So you see as I hover over it, it's now saying Unlink Harmony Colors. So that means that the harmony colors are actually linked right now. That's what this means. When I drag around, you'll see that all the colors in the artwork are being changed. The spatial relationship between them is being maintained, and I'm just dragging on one color, and it could be any of these colors, and I'll take all of them with me. Now that may not be what you want to happen. If you don't want it to happen, let's go and try and put this back somewhere near to where it was. If you don't want that to happen, you can click here and unlink the harmony colors. Now any one of these colors can be dragged into a new location. So we could, for example, try to locate and isolate this purple color and do something with it. You can also isolate colors using the assign option here. So I could go to this color and highlight it. Now if I go back to the edit option, that color will be identified with a sort of larger circle. It's hidden in behind here. Just going to see if I can grab it and take it somewhere else. So that is a way of identifying which of these colors actually relates to a color in the image. Let's go back to the assign option because there's another option we could use here. If we want to see where these colors are actually in use in the image, we can find that out. Let's go to this sort of pink color. I've clicked on it to select it. I'm going down here to this option, which is click on colors above to find them in the artwork. So I'll click on this, and this color is this pink color here in the artwork. If I click on another color, we'll see that this is used in here. And this one here is being used up here. So if you wanted to make a change, for example, to some of the pink color in this flower, such as this one here, I could just target it using this option, just identify where it is. Now when I go back to edit, it should have a larger circle than the other colors here in the artwork dialog, and I'll be able to drag it to a different location. Here it is. So there are any number of ways that you can change your artwork using this option. I'm just going to change these pinks to a little bit more of an orange one, just so that we've got something we can work with. Well, that last thing was unexpected. Let's go and try for these pinks. That's better. Let's see if I can make a sort of dark orange. If I want to darken up any of these colors and I can't get them far enough away, we can always darken them by selecting the color here and just adjusting it here. So I'm going to make it darker here. So any one of these colors can be individually altered. You can see now that we've changed our pink pansy to orange. Let's just click OK to exit that dialog. Now, one of the powerful things about changing patterns this way in Illustrator is this. Let me select over my rectangle. Let me go to my swatches panel. This is the original pattern I filled my rectangle with. It's in the swatches panel. It would be expected to be in the swatches panel. What you mightn't expect is that there's a second pattern alongside it. Illustrator has created that second pattern simply because I went to recolor a pattern. And so what it does is it makes a duplicate and then saves the duplicate with the recoloring as a second pattern. And so you can do this over and over again to get different colorways in your artwork. Recoloring patterns in Illustrator Simplicity itself, if you use the Recolor Artwork dialog, that's of course available in all modern versions of Illustrator. Now before we finish up, I have more Illustrator training at Skillshare.com. When you sign up for Skillshare, you get access to thousands of classes there, including over 250 of mine. In the description below is a Skillshare offer, which is at least as good as the current Skillshare offer, and typically mine will be better. I also have Illustrator training at Udemy.com, and there's a referral link for every one of those courses in the description below. Please feel free to share these with family, friends, and co-workers. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you've learned things about Illustrator of which you were previously unaware. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, and you'll be alerted when new videos are released. Until next time, my name's Helen Bradley. Thank you so much for joining me here on my YouTube channel.